What up with y'all? I ain't made a video in a while, so I decided I'm gonna make a video. And we're gonna do something that I ain't done before, and I feel like I'm gonna do it because I know there's a lot of guys that want to get into it, don't know where to start. And I'm gonna post this on YouTube. I'm gonna start making more content and everything else about this topic, which is the RC topic. I'll start making more videos on it showcasing trucks, or at least the ones that I have. There's a lot of more of the minis that I want to get, but let's get into it. The first truck that we are going to be talking about is the SCX 24 and the AX 24, brought to you by Axial. They're one of the main trucks that you see. They range you anywhere between $130 to $150, sometimes even a little bit less. I've seen them for $120 depending on which one you get. There are several different styles depending if you're a Jeep guy, if you're a Chevrolet guy, if you're a Ford guy. They got the Deadbolt, which is essentially a mixture between a International Harvester and a old Bronco. They got the Jeep Gladiator, the Jeep Wrangler JLU, a old Chevrolet C10, which is about a 69 model. They also have the new Bronco. But there's plenty of customization out there for these trucks. These trucks are Lexan bodies. They come with licensed tires. They got a power wagon that comes with Proline 57-inch Super Swamper tires. The regular ones, and if I remember correctly, the Jeep or both of the Jeeps come with Nitto trail grips. From what I've seen, they're good tires out of the box, but you can do better. There's plenty, like I said, there's a whole crap ton of customization for these trucks. These trucks are the ones that you mainly see being built to competition spec level trucks. With Axle, you also have the UTB-18, which is a mini Capra. If any of y'all are familiar with the Capra 110. It's the larger of the 118s to where it kind of looks unrealistic, but I've seen some pretty cool builds out of it too. I'm not sure how many upgrades there is on it, but y'all can go check it out. That's pretty much all I have to say about that one. The next truck that we're going to be talking about is the TRX 4M, made by Traxxas. They're a little bit more expensive than the SCX 24. And we'll get on to the cheaper trucks after the top three that you'll see in any specs. So with the TRX 4M, that's brought to you by Traxxas, they have a old dent side F-150, a old square body Chevy, Bronco, a Land Rover Defender. They're $150 for the truck itself. It gets you the truck, battery, everything installed. They have, to my knowledge, I think they do have LEDs, but you can also get the Pro Scale lighting kit for them. There's plenty of upgrades on the market for them. You see some competition spec TRX 4Ms, but not as many TRX 4Ms as you see as the SCX 24s. The next truck that we're going to be talking about is the FMS FCX Series. Within the FCX Series, you have the SCX 24. You have the SCX 18. Within the 24s, you got the K5 Blazer, Power Wagon, and a Unimog, which is made by Mercedes. The FCX 18, you got the Land Rover, the Land Cruiser, and the K10 Chevrolet. Most of y'all have seen my LC80 Land Cruiser. It's a good truck. There's plenty of customizations. There's plenty of upgrades. And they're still coming out with upgrades for both platforms. They're not as well known in the competition scene, but for the bang, well, not really for the bang because they're the more expensive truck. For $180, you can get the FCX 18. For about $145, $150-ish, you can get the FCX 24. Still a good truck. Comes with a hard body. Comes with LEDs. Portal axles. 2-speed transmission. Like I said, all the lights are installed. You're getting more than what you're getting with the Axial and the Traxxas. And videos, there's plenty of videos out there. The FMS FCX series outperforms both trucks bone stock out of the box. That's why I went with getting one. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I want to get the other miniatures to go with the one that I have, because I really like the miniature community better than tent scale community. Tent scale community has really gotten crazy. It's gotten really expensive. The tent scale market is now what the 8 scale market used to be, and it's just gotten crazy. All right, next truck, we're going to go with the Hobby Plus Evo Pro. Hobby Plus has got plenty of selection for 18 scales, which is the CR18P platform. The Evo Pro is the newest one and the most capable one that they released, coming in at anywhere between 200 and 215 bucks. You get truck, battery, no lights. This is a competition spec from factory truck. 2-speed transmission, portals, LCG chassis. You're getting everything that's competition ready from factory without having to put that much effort into building it. You can still go out and get brass portal covers, brass wheels, better tires, all that to weight it down even more to make it more killer, in which you really don't have to, but you can just to make it even better. The next truck that we're going to be talking about is the Furitech, what do they call theirs? The FX 118 is what I think it is. Within that lineup, you have the Katana and the Fury Wagon. The Fury Wagon and the Katana is a Hobby Plus truck. It is essentially a heavily upgraded from an external manufacturer, but it's still a Hobby Plus CR18P. Because the Katana, if you go look at Hobby Plus's lineup, they got the Kratos, which is the exact same body as the Katana. I forget what the name of the Hobby Plus truck is for the not Power Wagon, but Fury Wagon. But everything that Furitech comes out with is essentially heavily modified from an external manufacturer or conversion manufacturer, whichever way you want to put it, Hobby Plus trucks. And Furitech also has plenty of upgrades for the FCX 24, the FCX 24 and 18, and the TRX 4M. You also have the Carisma 124 scales. They're the cheaper. They're down with the Enduro Element 124 scales. They're not really hobby grade. They're more toy grade or entry levels. Not many upgrades. Not really too much I can say about this truck at all because I don't know nothing about them. They're really cheap quality to me. So, yeah. Another truck that I'm going to be talking about is the Enduro Element 124 scale. Like the Carisma, and I do believe I mentioned the Enduro in the clip for the Carismas, they're really low end, they're really cheap, they're really more toy grade or entry level than they are hobby grade. There's not many upgrades or anything that you can really do to these trucks. They're really kind of just there, I reckon you could put it that way. They're not really anything that you'd really want to look forward to getting. They're not really anything that you'd want to try to build into a comp truck or something to actually perform well, because you really can't with these trucks. There's nothing for you to really do with them. Another one you have is the CR28 by Team Associated. And if you don't know, Team Associated is also Enduro. So with the Enduro one, you're dealing with Team Associated because Element is a part of Team Associated, or should I say sold by Team Associated. Either they are Team Associated or they're partnered with Team Associated. I'm not sure which one. I don't remember. But once again, it's like the Enduro. It's like the Carisma. There's nothing for them. They're really more toy grade than they are hobby grade because there's really nothing for them at all. You can't really do anything with them. So therefore, it's more of the entry level, getting your kids into it, whatever. You also have the HBX Devastator, is what I think it's called, if I remember correctly. But it's one of the higher end. It's been out for a long time before the mini market became what it is. This truck had always been out there for you to buy. It's all metal, 4-wheel steer. I don't have one. I don't know if I'd get one. But as far as I know, there is no aftermarket support for it whatsoever. It's just one of those ones that you can tinker with. It's a little on the pricey side from what I remember, but I think it might have came down to like $100. I remember when it used to be 180 when it first came back, or when it first came out back in, like, I want to say it was 2010 is when it came out. Because I remember looking at our RC cars on my dad's phone when I was little, didn't have a phone. But it was like 180, almost $200 for it, because the mini market wasn't there. There was no micro market and everything. But like I said, there's no aftermarket support. There's nothing for this truck. So once again, it's one of those that I'm gonna classify as a entry level, since there's nothing you can do with it. You can't modify it. You can put different bodies on it, but that's about it. Another one that I'm gonna speak on is the RC 4-wheel drive 118 and 124. The 124 is the Trail Finder 2. I can't really talk much on these ones. They're really kind of up there in price, and you're really not getting much for them, and which kind of sucks, especially anybody knows RC 4-wheel drive is a good recommendable company for 110 scales and like really good on detail, but I can't see $185 for a 124 and 118 that there's not really much offered for it. Now you also have the Kyosho 124 scale Mini Z 4x4s. They're good. You're paying $250, which is kind of crazy for really not much, but a really scaled out hard body. I can't see paying that for just a really good detailed body, because there's really no upgrades for them. They don't do well from any of the videos that I've seen. So I really on the fence about it, because it really hurts, especially knowing that they got a really nice 4Runner body. Because a lot of y'all know that I'm a Toyota guy, and it really hurts to know that they're not that good of trucks, and you're really paying for just the body itself. You also have the Orlandoo Hunter 132 scales also. And there's plenty of other ones that are smaller than that. You got them all the way up to like 173 or 173rd scale. The one that I had pictured before this clip is actually the modified version by Furatech. So it's technically a Furatech truck, but it's originally an Orlandoo Hunter truck. That's another good one to check out. There's videos on them because they got a Baja truck. They got regular traffic vehicles. They got miniature military vehicles, to my knowledge. They got the rock bouncer that was at the beginning before this clip, before we talked about this one. So there's that one also. Cool little micro, but you got to build them yourself, put the electronics in, all that. It's a cool little kit, like a really cool little kit that you can do yourself. Last truck that we're going to be talking about here is the Red Cat Ascent 18. This truck just got put on the market as of last week, if I remember correctly. This truck has got portal axles. It's got not a 2-speed. It's only a single-speed transmission. From what I've seen, it's a good truck, but $100, the cheapest one on the market, which might be good in its favor, might not be good in its favor. Whereas the rest of the vehicles on this list have been upper in price. With the Katana, I failed to mention this, with the Katana, it's $200 even at the moment. Regular retail is $240. With the Ascent, it's $100 right now, but it will be $120, which is going to be its normal retail. There's not much information about this truck, but it is the little brother to the 10th scale Ascent. And from what I've seen, it's decent, but because of it being the cheaper in price, it could hurt it or it could help it. Red Cat already has a whole lineup of brass, aluminum, and cast upgrades for them. So it'll be interesting to see what people do with these trucks, especially with them being the lower end truck and the cheapest of the miniatures that you can buy. But with that being said, it should be interesting to see what happens. Well, okay, I forgot to mention one too. You also got the Panda Hobby trucks, and from what I know from them, they're really cheap trucks too, alongside with the Carisma and the Enduro. And they're an Australian company, but they've came up a lot from what I know. I haven't seen much on them. I don't really know much on them, so I can't really talk too much about them. But that's another one for y'all to go check out also. Now, I hope this helps the guys that are looking forward to buying any of the minis and wants to get into the 18 and 24 communities, because it is a really good community. It is a really fun community. There's plenty of good guys out there. There's plenty of good groups out there. On Facebook, you have the micro crawler club, which them guys never fail to crack me up, um, and everything else. So depending on what you're looking at, and I really hope that I helped Joe out. And like I said, I will, before each clip, there will be a picture of the trucks that we were talking about. And another thing that I failed to mention is one of the better, okay, with the TRX4 and, well, any of the 18 and 24s, you have a company called Little Guy Racing Parts. They have a slew of parts. They have a competition chassis that you can build. You can build a whole truck from scratch from them for roughly, I want to say about $1,000. You can build a whole competition ready truck straight from them. You can buy a chassis, you can buy axles, you can buy wheels, you can buy a transmission, you can buy brushless motor, receiver, radio, everything to get to build a truck. And even the upgrades, you ain't even got to buy just the basic parts. You can buy the upgrades and not even have to worry about the basic parts. You can just buy all the brass stuff, have a heavy competition truck for roughly about $1,000. I took and tallied that up by just looking myself and like, okay, I'm gonna build an X Factor chassis. I want to build an X Factor chassis. If I had the money, I really would. I went through and added everything to build this truck and cart, and it was roughly about $800. After eight to $900 to build a entire competition spec LGRP truck, in which I really want to do though, because from what I've seen, some of the guys that build the X Factor, or I want to say the other one is the R Factor, which is the Bronco R, and the Ripper, they're the builds are dope. Like, the builds are really good. A lot of people are giving really good justice to these builds. Same thing goes with Muse Racing with their Ripper chassis and all that. They're making these builds look legit. With the Muse, you have the Bronco R, and you can turn it into a Von Gittin Jr.'s truck, which is really freaking dope, if you ask me. Another thing is you got Enduro. Enduro is a major manufacturer with plenty of parts for all the platforms that I just talked about. They also have their own chassis, like the Tarantula. That's a good buggy chassis if you want to build a buggy. I will get into the honorable mentions of this video. The honorable mentions will be the WPL and MN models vehicles. Only reason why I say they're honorable mentions because they're the cheapest of all of them, ranging from anywhere between 20 and 50 bucks. I actually take it back. Anywhere between 20 and $80, depending on who you're buying it from. Whether you're buying it from AliExpress all the way up to Walmart. Or should I say all the way up to Amazon. It all depends on who you buy it from. There's not many upgrades to them at all. But you can retrofit a bunch of parts to build a genuine custom truck. That is the only reason why I'm mentioning them trucks into this video. Like I said, I hope I helped y'all in the best way that I can. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, on any social medias about any of these platforms that we talked about, and about the companies that make the upgrades. I hope y'all make up y'all's mind on which ones y'all want. And until next time, I will see y'all later. Later, y'all.